of the brain. Pretty common. The single layer of the tall, narrow cells. Some have cilia, for example, a bronchiole of the lung. Because once again, the lungs are working, think about the stuff that we are sitting in this room trying to make its way in, okay? And it's working to get it out. The cilia wants to push it. How many of you do that? All you did was the stuff that the cilia of this respiratory tube is trying to push out. All you did was it pushed it up, and you kind of, unless you hock the loogie and spit it out, and you swallowed it back down into the stomach because the acid will kill it. Yay, that's a fun thought, isn't it? Auditory tubes, uterine tubes, think about movement of the eggs, the uterus, and then some of these columnar have the microvilli, the finger-like projections. Notice that she did mention those don't move. Cilia do. Microvilli don't, okay? Those are found in the intestines because it helps greatly with absorption of the foodstuffs. So the functions: move particles out of the bronchioles, aid in the movement of oocytes, which would be the eggs, secretion by glands of the stomach and the intestines, helping to give us the mucus and so forth that helps with the movement of the foodstuffs, and absorption by cells of the intestines. As we break down the foodstuffs, getting those foodstuffs into the bloodstream. So, simple squamous, simple cuboidal, simple columnar. Stratified. Stratified squamous. Areas that are moist. Note, anything that is going to the exterior of the body, to the outside environment. Mouth, throat, larynx, esophagus, anus, vagina, inferior urethra, and the cornea. If it is keratinized, meaning that those two or more layers have now died off and are full of keratin, this happens in the skin. The keratinized is the skin. That structure, multiple layers that are cuboidal in the basal layer, but flatten towards the surface. So, in the moist areas, those surface cells keep a nucleus and their cytoplasm. They keep the structure, okay? But in the skin, the keratinized, those cells get flat. All right?
Keratinized just means it's dead.
Yes.
So the top two are flat, but the bottom ones are cuboidal.
Yes. They'll have that cuboidal appearance, and as those cells move up and move up and move up and move up, they're taking on that squamous shape. So they are considered the squamous. Their goal, their function, protect against abrasion, caustic chemicals, water loss, and infection. Stratified cuboidal. Not very prominent in the body. You find it in the ducts of the sweat glands, ovarian follicular cells, salivary gland ducts. So they are not very prominent in the body. Multiple layers of the cube shapes. Good for secretion, absorption, protection against infections.
So it's just like follicle, like hair?
When you look at an ovary and the structure of it, the way that the cells are going to work, the cells, if you remember, okay, the goal is to produce gametes, which is the egg, okay? Now, this means it has to go through meiosis, some people say it differently, okay? Meaning we have to take the chromosome number from 46 to 23, all right? So here's what has to happen in those cells. Those cells, as they are in this organ, and as they continue to go through the divisions, all right, you'll eventually get to a cell that begins to get larger, and you'll see a developing egg, all right? And once that egg fully develops, which is now just the 23 chromosome cell, all right, this would be the egg that would be spit out at ovulation, okay? And if you remember, well, we haven't gotten to, and you won't get to that in this part, but it will meet fallopian tubes, all right? This area that that egg is developing in is termed a follicle, like a tube. So the egg gets spit out, and you end up with those cells left behind that have to go do something else, and they will. Does that make sense? A follicle is a structure that looks like it has all these little cells around the base of it, and then it kind of looks empty, but it's not necessarily. Okay? So, stratified squamous, stratified cuboidal, stratified columnar. Oh, take a break. Okay. Yeah, take a break. Back at 9:30.